Hello, world. It is I. It is him, not so slim with the tilted. Oh no, brim. Today, Ryan, aka Crowns' Corner. This is the Healing Chefs podcast. Healing Chefs podcast is all about people in the community, Arizona, cannabis, not cannabis, but a chef is a leader, is a chief leader, and everyone that I have on is a leader in my eyes. So today's chef
Oh, thank you. That's
is,
amazing.
is
Thank you.
Momsa Jane.
Thank
You
you.
very much for
Oh,
joining us.
thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate being here. Thank you.
Okay, everybody calm down. All right. And so if you could educate our listeners, watchers, viewers, whatever that is. Also, if you like anything that's going on, like, subscribe, all those great things. I forget to say that, but yeah, please do. It helps out a lot. But yeah, could you introduce yourself to the...
Yeah. So I'm Alisha, mom that Jane's on the internet, moms with an S now. I was hacked. That's a long, fun story. But
no.
yeah, that was fun. But whatever. New platform, get the chance to change and do things different, which is really nice. So yeah, I'm part of the community. I have Crohn's disease. I found out in right after I had my twins, which are babies 4 and 5. I have five children. Stressed but blessed, mom of 5. So
Shout out
that's
to
kind
moms
of how
too.
my life's a little crazy. Yeah. So after I had the twins, I was diagnosed with Crohn's. And I never got high as a kid. I never did. I had my first child. She's 24 now. So do the math. I had her at 16, and it really just was that thrust into adulthood, parenthood, motherhood that
For sure, yeah.
that happened. So I was really focused on trying to be the best mom I could at 16, the best student. I'm still in high school, I still need to graduate. I still need to, do things the best, all those things. And when it came to cannabis, everybody around me did it. Everybody around my parent, my dad did. Everybody did. Yeah.
Real quick, we're gonna jump into like all the cannabis
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and light this joint that we have here.
Oh, beautiful.
I rolled this up. I should have rolled up more, but this is Purple Milk from Arise.
Ooh,
It's one of
love Arise.
I just had the rosin, and I was like, well, flowers here, I'm gonna grab that. So yeah, if you go ahead and cannabis journey real quick, that segment, and then we'll go ahead and talk about that real quick. All right. So so cannabis journey is all about like how you found cannabis yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were just telling us how it helped you, but like when you first found cannabis, shoot, I guess, was that 16 or is
No,
that
as an adult in my 30s.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no,
Oh, wow.
Not until I got diagnosed. And that was, so the twins were born 2014. It was 2015 I got the official diagnosis, and I just had kids. The twins were about 1 year old, and it was insane. It was really one of those times in life where they're like, you're gonna have a colostomy bag, you're facing surgery, and I'm just like, oh my God. So at this point I was like, I'll try anything. Give me anything. I've gone
Usually how it
the
goes.
yes.
Yeah.
I've gone the prescription route drug. I've gone the 5 pills and Carofate, which is this drink that cost an enormous amount of money that we could barely afford. It was like a coating that you just drink, and it coats the inner lining of your gut to just protect anything of the layers that are there. And
it sounded familiar. I have a special needs sister and stuff like that. So
really?
Yes, and she has like
IBS and all that,
the button and stuff. So it just sounds like something that she might have been.
Something that yeah, it's an intestinal thing. It was just this chalky drink. It kind of tasted like any of those other, like Pepto in a sense, but
believe me, I had a problem back in the day, and I messed up, and I had to drink the charcoal.
Oh,
if you know what that.
But
yeah, not the same thing. But
yeah.
yeah, I get it.
So I had cousins, very, very close cousins. They were like, just try pot, dude. And I'm like, pot? Like, really? For, I'm depressed, I'm angry, I'm mad, like I have mental health, and now my gut is falling apart. It
Check,
just was
check,
like, yeah. And
check.
I was like, pot? And then I just never just, I had a really negative childhood looking at it. And so when I grew up, I was like, it's just not for me. It just never was anything I was interested in. And
I
until
mean, with all the fear mongering, it's hard to,
it was, and I was the
especially being
one
a
that
mom,
was,
and then like,
yes, yes. And I was terrified. I would get caught. I mean, I didn't want to lose my kid. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to have to
yeah,
go through all of the
she's
different.
still battling that shit
Yes,
nowadays, which is
exactly.
ridiculous.
Exactly why I keep my med card, just as
That's
another.
insane. It's for recreation. Sorry.
No, you're 100% correct. I believe the same thing. It's just, well, and so it wasn't until I did my own, deep dive into cannabis and
Mhm.
how it affects and everything that it does and the benefits of it. And I truly was getting ready to.
This is not working. There you go.
I was trying to just see what the effects were. I was expecting to go down the research rabbit hole and find um you know horrible stories and babies and things that weren't there. Instead, you found Charlotte Figge, and you found her seizures and how cannabis saved her, and you see mom's Paige
Charlotte's Web,
Figge.
everybody.
Yeah. You see the stories, and you see Dr. Sanjay Gupta on CNN come back and retract his negative statement that he said years ago about cannabis after he was one of the biggest guests in Weed the People documentary, showing our endocannabinoid system, how it works, the benefits phytocannabinoids have for the system, and the endogenous ones we make. Like, you go down there and you realize, someone lied to me about this being bad. Someone lied to me.
Yeah.
Someone
I
said,
talked about that.
someone lied to me, and I believed it.
Yeah.
And now I'm 32 and smoking, the first joint I've ever had, and it was invigorating. There were so many emotions. I felt so good. Took my kids to the park. I ate like a great meal. Like, I was happy. And then I also felt that guilt instantly. I was like, going through well, do I hide it? Do I not say it? What do I do? Am I going to be the one that just smokes at night but suffer throughout the whole, like, how am I going to do this now?
Yeah.
And then that's really when the research, I went way further into it. And I really just said, all right, Alisha, you know what you know. And you need to change the way you see this. You still see it as a drug if you're trying to hide it, if you're trying to do this, the way you saw it all this
Right.
other time. You need to flip that. And I need to start seeing it as what it is, the medicinal little plant that it is. It's not a drug. It should have never been put on the Schedule 1 list.
Mhm.
There's so many things that this benefits from. And now, again, back to, oh my God, somebody lied to me, that realization. And then, the whys and the wheres. And it's because it's so beneficial. It's because it's helping people, and it's combating, cancer, people, and all those other different things that the research has been proven. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. And and like I talk a little bit about, like, for myself and some of us in the community and stuff like that. We see a lot of what I call the Taylor Swifting of cannabis. But there I mean, we all wanted, as we were growing up, we're like, I wish the world would smoke weed. Now, like, again, the world is smoking weed, so you're gonna have the Taylor Swifting of weed. But you have to understand, like, there's going to be the people that you don't really agree with all the time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just find what works for you and stuff like
Exactly.
that. But I am glad that there is some of the Taylor Swifting for people, especially moms and stuff, who really want to be discreet and don't really want, like, the Nickelodeon colors and the,
Right.
like, hey, look at me, I'm smoking weed, kind of like all the stuff that we do, like some of us do. But
Yeah.
yeah, I am glad for that.
Yeah. And just off that, it's, there's, once it went rec, because being in the industry, working in the industry and being part of the community, being, having both those experiences, it was really eye-opening when we went rec. It was extremely, when we were medical, and it was just a medical state. Even then, we had a lot of things that needed to be worked on just with our medical program.
Right.
So for it to go wreck, not even ready, really, I mean, because I worked in the dispensary. I remember the day, I remember exactly how it happened. It was like Monday, we found out they were going to allow sales, and Wednesday, we were open for sales.
Yeah.
Like,
I was a
that
bud
was
tender.
it. It was, yeah, yeah. And it was a line out the door for days. The news was there. People were crazy. It was really cool. But my favorite moment, and I will never forget this, we're on hour 8 of just constant people. We are changing out our registers because it's just full of money and we can't even put any more in there. So now they're changing out our registers to a second register.
Yeah.
And this guy walks up and everyone's grumpy. They've been waiting in line forever. So this guy walks up and he's like, "Do you know how long I've been waiting?" And I just roll my eyes and I'm like, "Sir, we just went rec like 4 hours ago."
I,
And he stops me and goes, "78 years. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making this available for me, an old timer that had my boots to the ground, that was the hippie that tried to do this, that got caught with pot, that did this. Now you're here and you're making it happen." And that's when I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, I can do this. All right. This is for those people that need it, that do need it. So yes, there's the brands, there's the Taylor Swift people, there's all these people trying to and make it whatever they want to make it, fine. But I will never forget. I left crying. I was like, I got to take a break. Pizza's coming in. They're trying to feed us and give us, sodas and just keep us going because we're
yeah.
exhausted from taking literally customer after customer.
I've been there, and I helped open like quite a few different places too
Yeah.
when I was working. Like I helped open the New True Bliss where they're at,
Oh, wow.
the Oasis North where
Yeah.
that one,
Mm-hmm.
when it was just south. I helped open North, and especially North when they opened up. I mean, not even rec, but just like the different openings and the rec was insane though. But uh, even like the openings and stuff, like when the upset people would come in, I lucked out to being I don't know how the veteran got lucked out into handling all the upset people, but maybe I can handle them a little bit better because I'm upset a lot.
They're paid. You could
Right.
relate.
So like especially like one guy, like I remember, just like you said, this guy comes in, he's just like all upset, but that guy was way better than mine. He was just like blah, 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 blah. But by the end, like within the first few like seconds, I already disarmed him and got him to calm down. And then by the end, he was like thanking me and like then talking to my manager, and I'm like bro,
Those are those
like I
moments.
love that's the moments that I really loved. The moments I didn't love are what's the highest THC percentage? Yeah. It's not what you want.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
it's like,
yeah,
well, let me break down the terpene profile. And it's
yeah.
like, no way. What's
Like,
the highest?
I don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into the next segment, which is trip tales.
Oh, yes.
Hey, I have something somewhere.
I do too, but I have to be really careful.
I found them the other day, and then I set them down. I don't know where I put them. So,
I
oh
am
well,
just,
I'm a single guy, and
yeah.
I don't have any children around, and my cat does not want anything to do with any of my weed or any of that stuff. So
So you.
it's just me. So the DMs are open. No, but no, just kidding. But yeah. So Trip Tales is all about like psychedelic experiences, anything that you've learned or want to share with people.
Yeah. I mean, psilocybin, fun. Yes. For me, I just have to be pretty careful. I guess maybe it's still a strain thing and all that. And it's trying to figure out what works best for me or with me or whatever. But
It
I've
does.
had some really fun, like, eye-opening experiences. And I remember I was taking him for my friend's birthday. We were gonna go see the actual mushroom exhibit that was in downtown a couple years back, and so we were like, "Well, obviously we have to
Sick.
go do a bunch of mushrooms
Let's
before
go.
we go." Right.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
And as somebody that only did them for a couple times prior, I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we put them in our sandwiches that we had gotten right before, and we just go to town. And nobody's measuring. We're just like, "Oh, it was so real."
Yeah.
And we are now walking around this
Making my way
quiet
downtown.
it is so quiet in like real life, but in my head, I am like hearing
You heard
all the
everything.
colors. I was like, does anyone hear that aqua color that just came through that painting? No, just me. Cool. I'm gonna just
I
keep everything
understand
to myself.
when they say loud colors now.
Yes. And then I just laugh cry. Like I just laugh cry uncontrollably. And they're
Hell
like, "Are
yeah,
you
dude.
okay?" I'm like, "No, don't get me laughing because then I'm crying." But it's crying that like won't
Oh.
stop. And I just leak out of my eyes. I don't know why it makes me cry, but I'm not even emotional or sad. It's like, it feels like, so I do 'em when I feel like I need to cry and I just don't have anything to cry about. And I just am like, "Let me cry." Yeah, I don't know why it makes me cry, but I love it.
I've
And I went into the museum and it was
sometimes,
one of
yeah.
the trippiest things ever. And it was like,
How was that experience? Like, so when it hit, you're hearing colors and whatnot. But like, what, you have any visuals going on? Like, are your friends like you have to wrangle them up? Because
yeah,
that
we
was one
were
of my problems when I would do stuff with
yes.
people, especially when I went to Amsterdam with somebody's. It's just like trying to nail down water. But
Herd kittens.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
that too. That
That
too.
was exactly what it felt like. And as the mom always in the group, just for the sheer amount of kids I have, everyone thinks I'm now the designated mom. And they're like, "So we should get water, right?" And I'm like, "This is the second time I've ever done this. Why are you asking me? What I'm asking you, what do we do?" "Yeah,
We should
like
get
we
water,
need
right?
to leave." They're like, "We've been here 4 minutes." I'm like, "What? I've seen everything 3 times already. I don't know."
Shout out the Scottsdale Aquarium. I swear to God, I've been there like a couple times, and you, you think you're going for a long
Yeah,
time, and then
yeah.
you're like, wait,
Wait,
that was it?
that was it? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went
Um,
through every room and the pictures, it was really fun when you like really stared, like the pictures that were swirling, were swirl. You could really like, but I was glad because I'm terrified I'm going to see something that's not like really not there. Like I hate not having like that control over that. Like
oh, believe me,
I'm
I had
so
a big
afraid.
problem last year. I thought people were outside of my door.
See? Oh
That
my
was on, but
gosh.
that's part of my
Yeah.
PTSD and also other drug use that I shouldn't have done. But yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well, the first time I got high, like just off pot when I was an adult, I thought my
lack of sleep
husband
will make
was
you hallucinate
yes, that's yes,
hard.
drug or truck drivers. That's like one of their biggest issues or one of their, downfalls is the whole time thing and then, they don't sleep and they're almost drunk, they have their blood is so crazy like just whatever. So but yeah,
Yeah, no,
I
I was a chef for like concerts all near the
oh,
valley
fun.
in Vegas and stuff like that. So I talked with a lot of the drivers because I'd be sitting there with setting up, and they're the ones that would come in and chill the most in like the craft area.
Yeah.
And they would tell me all sorts of stories how they have to like fill out all this paperwork. They got to check
Yeah.
like I forgot if it was like they check their blood or shit. I don't know, man. They were
Yeah.
telling all sorts of stuff, and they have to sleep at certain times, or they get like I don't know. That's a crazy life.
That's a crazy life.
But yeah, the
That's an
hallucinate
interesting
like just like
industry.
lack of sleep
Yeah.
alone.
Will really mess you up. Yeah.
But yeah, so UK. So sorry,
No.
we're back to it. You're wrangling cats. Everyone's asking you, should you have water?
Yeah, and I'm
Um,
just like, "What? I gotta call my kid to get me. I gotta go home. My mom wants me home." My mom called, said I can't spend the night. I gotta
yeah,
go.
I'm taking my ball, guys, and I'm
I don't
going home.
know.
Yeah, no, that's funny because I remember back in the day when I was in Germany, we had gone to Amsterdam and whatever. We brought back like I brought back a
Yeah.
backpack full of shrooms and
Oh
stuff
my
for like people
gosh.
that wanted them
Yeah.
in Germany, the soldiers, and then
Oh,
for
no.
myself and my uh now ex and her cousin, and we like we did some, and then we went to pick up her cousin at the train station, and then we ate some, and then we were sitting at this bar that we usually in, and then her cousin looks at me and goes, "Did you just see the ceiling bubble?" And I was like, "All right, we gotta go."
Stop. Can I get my check, please? Oh
So-
my gosh, yes.
So we get outside, and it's like on a hill a little
Yeah.
bit, and they're like they're almost falling over because it's
Oh
just like on a
my
little bit of a slant.
gosh.
And then I finally get them home, and they're like, let's go for a walk. I'm like, you guys don't need to be outside right now. And they're like, and then I gave them stuffed animals. They're naming them like,
Oh my god, that's
Frank and Tut.
exactly like my fear is I'm gonna need a stuffed animal.
But yeah, it's just like, I was like, here, just turn on the TV. What are we
Yeah.
watching? Doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter.
Just-
It's gonna freak you out. Let's watch Meg 2 and see how
Oh.
you feel on the
Yeah, that's.
Wouldn't that be crazy watching? It's already crazy as it is.
I'm gonna try it later.
Oh yeah, let me know how that goes. Jurassic World.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know. I watch a lot of conspiracy stuff,
Yeah.
so not much scares me.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting back like after so many years, like with psychedelics and stuff, and they're talking about this and
I wouldn't
that
be
and stuff.
surprised if a dinosaur
And
is
then
like the new thing that
I don't
now
know. I
happens.
just saw something that had like in limestone some
Oh,
friggin' at the same time was like a lion and a dinosaur at the same time. So mammals and dinosaurs at the same time. So I don't know. They're all lying to us constantly.
Let's do that.
So I don't
that
know.
sounds like a grand idea.
Don't get me talking either. I'll start talking
Okay.
about like flat Earth or something. And then people are like, "Oh yeah, we weren't sure,
but now we know.
we know
He's
for sure.
confirmed it.
He's crazy. He's an idiot." All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let's see here, jump into break real quick, and we'll come back with like mental health is wealth, and we got quite a bit to go over there.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because they try to.
Welcome. A couple things.
Has and back everybody.
Keep on rolling, baby. Oh. I should have taken care of this before we came back. But you wouldn't believe I was a stoner if I didn't show you.
Yeah. Now you know.
It's official like a whistle. I don't know why I keep putting that up, but yeah. So next segment. Well, before we get into that, with the psychedelics and stuff, was that your like from there?
I think
what
that
your
was like
next
the trippiest
Yeah.
experience I ever had. But I do really love microdosing. So really getting that tiny amount, which I think is just beneficial with everything in life, is, smaller amounts more frequently is a lot better than those big lumps. And I come to realize that with everything, RSO and everything. But when it comes to
I'm
that,
all for smoking a lot of weed.
right. There's always that. No. But when it comes to like edibles and stuff, and especially, psilocybin, I really, really love the way it feels as the little boost of like energy that you get from that microdose or that more smaller amount.
Yeah, I agree with that, because when I do take like my 3-5s and stuff like
Yeah.
that, or even just two
Mhm.
2 grams or whatnot, I definitely get that energy, my body temperature goes up,
Yeah.
and I'm just like super hyper aware,
Right.
hearing everything,
Yeah.
hearing colors. But
Yeah.
it also depends, like you were saying earlier, though, on the strain as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And I've just never seemed to get the same strain twice for some reason. Like it just seems to be like, yeah, this is what I have, and this is what it is, and I'm like, okay, so
yeah.
taking the same amount as I did last time, thinking I could do it, or just not knowing anything, and going and
It's
doing.
hard too, because like I feel like shrooms are like jalapenos, or like I'm sorry, that's not
That's a
even
great.
like
That's a fantastic, because you never know how hot they're going to be. Sometimes they're
most
hotter
of the time
than
I
ever.
can just like crush a jalapeno if I
Yeah.
really wanted to,
Yeah.
but that sometimes you bite into it and it turns into like something crazy, and you're like, what just happened? I
Yeah.
did like so.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah, but I mean the strains for sure, because I found one recently. It's called Tidal Wave,
Okay.
and I think that would probably Ryan talking take two probably be the best, at least for me, to microdose on.
Yeah.
Because it's way more of a body fry
Oh,
than
okay.
it
Okay.
is. It does stimulate your mind,
Yeah.
but it's way more a body fry. Like
Okay.
if you haven't done it, you
I
don't know
have.
what I
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
If you haven't done shrooms or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, you don't know what I'm talking about, because it's something that happens with your body.
Right.
And then when you're done, you feel super light and all
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Mhm.
Feel like the next day you feel like you're just like floating, walking.
Yeah. And it's this nice feeling. Just it doesn't. If you take too much, that next couple days
That
and
paranoia
stuff,
kind of starts
yeah,
creeping in and shit
yeah.
like
And
that.
then I'm feeling like maybe the next time I need a little more, and then a little more, and then that's where I'm like, okay, now I've taken way more than my microdose, way more, and I'm folding the same load of laundry.
I tried that one time when I'm not going to say, it doesn't matter where I was working, but I was a bartender, and I was like, I'm going to eat these shrooms. And I ate them. Like, I said, I'm going to trip when I get home and play video games. And I'm like, I ate them like right as we're ending the shift.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the manager took forever.
Oh gosh,
and I'm
it
just
kicked in there.
And I'm just
Oh
sitting
my
there going,
God.
oh shit. Like,
Yeah, like I need to go.
and have you ever been to where like the shrooms or something's hitting you, and you're just kind of like your body's like fighting, you're like, and then you kind of get this kind of, it's not really anger, it's just like, I don't know, it's just like,
Yeah, I
fuck
get my
you.
tummy ends up hurting, and I don't know, and that's where I
that's-
know I'm like, oh man, which it's gonna go either way. You better. I don't know what you're supposed to do at this point. Drink water. No, I don't know, but I'm just like,
yeah, I think my
that's when
body
I realize
responds.
I'm like going in that direction or that direction. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely. I think it's part of that, like the chitin, however you say it,
Mhm.
the non breakdown. My words are escaping me today, but it's the fiber in shrooms and stuff that doesn't break
Oh.
down in your stomach that causes
Oh.
that stomach pain and stuff
Okay.
like that. Also, I mean, it's shrooms, but
Yeah.
that's a big part of it, and I think that's part of and like where negative feelings or
Right.
aspects come from.
Okay.
That's why I enjoy myself making like teas and stuff more and more.
Is that the like, is that your favorite way to
I
consume
like it because I
Okay.
also put ginger in there.
Okay.
As a chef, like I use some
Yeah.
like stuff like that, and I'm not holistic for
Right.
the most, but I do like ginger helps with the stomach.
Okay.
Also, you're not putting that fiber into your stomach, so you don't have that, but it's also going to hit way harder and it's going to go faster.
Oh.
So you have to like work your
Okay.
dosage down and whatnot.
Okay. All right. So you got a recipe? Like how much water? I would love to try it in a tea. I've only just eaten them.
It's called like lemon teching.
Okay. Okay.
I don't do, like, a lot of people talk about making teas and brewing it. I'm like,
Okay.
it's almost a waste of time.
Right.
So what I do, like, you get like lemon, it breaks down the psilocybin into like the juice.
Okay.
And then you take that lemon juice and put it in the tea.
Oh, kind of like making ceviche.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right. So you just let that soak and stuff like that. And to be honest, through my research and whatnot, like allegedly,
Okay.
Cold extract works way better.
Okay.
A lot of people like talk about hot water and stuff like that,
Hmm.
but make a milkshake and then let that shit sit for like a little bit, and the proteins in like the milk and stuff will start breaking down the psilocybin in
Okay.
the shrooms and letting it express
I'm gonna
itself
try
more.
it that way. That might help because it's usually the whole tummy thing that is where I'm like over it.
But yeah, that's when like if you make the milkshake, that's just using the whole like
Yeah.
fruit itself. But I like the teas and stuff and to add the ginger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you also can get like a little tea set and you can be all fancy and shit and like put on
That's cute.
like a top hat and be like, I'm the Mad Hatter.
Special cakes.
I don't know. I like Alice in Wonderland. I'm a huge, I think of myself as a Cheshire cat.
That's hilarious. I love Alice in Wonderland. That's always been a fun movie or experience.
Acid's my favorite too. So
yeah.
More than shrooms for sure.
I've never done it.
Oh my God. Let me tell you.
Okay.
It like, so all those bad feelings from shrooms and stuff, none of it.
Right. Okay.
Like for me, like I have acid and it's just like, let's listen to music.
Really?
And I'll have like a rave if I ever have it. I'll have like a little rave inside my apartment or whatever.
You just do your own dancing. I love that.
It's like, well, it's got the headset on for the game system or whatever, and I have like real trippy music. Shout out Spongle is SHPONGLE. Look them up. It's some real trippy stuff and visuals and stuff.
Okay.
Really good for psychedelics. I like it. It's
fun.
Fun. It's fun stuff. Like nothing crazy. It's just like real fun. Maybe a little crazy.
But the negative side effects of the
acid,
it's not there with acid like it is with shrooms.
No, shrooms for me are more therapeutic and make you focus on like the things that you maybe not have like wanted to like work on.
Yeah.
Or weren't even thinking about.
Okay.
Because like shrooms, you can be like, I want to have a good time. You take it and you're like, my grandma.
Yes, yes. And I think that's
like,
where I'm like,
I'm not gonna be fun at the party.
Okay.
So,
exactly. And that's
acid,
probably it's not like that.
I was like,
it's always a good time. It's always a party.
Yeah, party. Nick Swartzen joke. Party. If you don't know what that joke is, look that shit up. I'm not gonna say it on here. But all right, let's go ahead and jump into the mental health is wealth.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, so mental health is wealth is obvious. Big talking points nowadays.
Yeah.
Myself being a veteran with PTSD, working through that. I've even like, so for myself more recently, and not going into much of it, but like a lot of people have problems during like the holiday season and stuff like that. For me, it's January. This month. That's really hard for me because like the highs of the holidays and stuff are over, and then we're like, all right, and we're back to it another year of the same. Yeah. Like, but
that makes sense.
So I myself pat on my back had a thought of relapsing recently, and I didn't at all. So but that's the battles that I have going on constantly.
Yeah.
How have you handled, especially with, I don't know, getting your stuff hacked, being a mom in the cannabis space? There's aliens nowadays.
Yeah, literally.
Or there have
there's
been.
So much craziness out in the world, and you don't know what to do ever if you're doing anything right or wrong. Like with your kids, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest thing.
That's literally what keeps me up. That's the 3 a.m. thoughts. It's like, oh my God. Do I buy the Stanley Cup? Is she going to get bullied for not having a real Stanley? Like, it's insane. Like, I know that's, and then to the greater of problems where you have
like
real,
standing up to kid bullies.
Right. And I have 4 daughters, 1 son. I got pregnant at 15, had a baby, at 16. So we're approaching all these years of love and boyfriends and dating, and it's starting, so that's the other, there's trillions and billions of holy shit, what am I doing? What did I do? Okay, that's like a reoccurring thought daily. Like,
Remember
but
that
they're so
karma thing
fucking
that people
cool.
are
Yeah,
talking
like what my
about?
mom said. Just wait till you have kids. Just wait. They're gonna do all
That's
this
why
to
I have no
you.
kids. Maybe somewhere.
So right that you know of. No,
I was a
they're
soldier in
really
Germany.
cool. So if you have anybody that looks like you, but they're cool. Kids are amazing. They
Get me on
truly are.
Maury. Don't get me on Maury.
The baby.
Don't get me on Maury.
Uh
Sorry.
No, that's crazy.
But yeah,
So
dealing with all that, with being a mom, and that is crazy.
and just the
Especially
Crohn's, like that was
Ooh.
that was nuts. That was a toll. That was like, because you go through a million trillion doctors that are like, I don't see nothing. There's nothing there. And you're just like, I'm psycho then. That it's absolutely me. I have a problem. It's, there's that like medical gaslighting, whatever you want to call it. But it's just like, and then finally you see the right endo gastro and they're like, oh, here, let's do this and this test and finally do, everything that's necessary to do. And it turns out you're everything's kind of falling apart inside of you. So
how much is
here
that
we
in
go.
everybody's life? Like, hey, I've been telling you this shit for the long time.
For
You weren't listening
years,
to
yes.
me, and now it's coming true, and we're supposed to be cool.
And we're supposed to just take it, and like it's like
I
so.
got pulled over yesterday.
Oh shit!
He's like, your
God,
license
I have
plate.
one pullover story.
He's
but-
like, your registration is expired. I'm like, did you see the temp tag on the back? He's like, I saw him walking up. I'm like, okay, and like, what do you want? Like, and he's like,
then we should all just have a
license
great
and
day.
registration still. He ran it and all sorts of stuff came back. Showed him my insurance, and I'm just like, and
Yeah.
and he's like, okay, well, you have any questions for me? I wanted to go the fuck off.
Yes.
But I'm like, Ryan, now's not the time. But yeah. So mental health, it's not easy.
No.
But
no, but cannabis helps, and it helps
definitely
in a
smoked
lot
after
of
that.
yeah. No shit. Oh God, that's so scary. That's so scary.
Especially a motherfucker on. Never mind.
Your pupils are a little big. No.
No, I'm on a diversion. I mean,
got
you could
it.
probably look it up. But yeah, I'm dealing with something right now, so I'm like just shut the up.
Yeah.
Don't test it. But so growing up, being a mom, cannabis, how do you deal with it nowadays? Especially because I don't have to worry about people coming for me when I post cannabis stuff and everything. Like, obviously it used to be a thing and people are worried about it, but also I don't give two
right
of if they take all social media away,
right,
because I was doing all of this before any like social media was a thing.
Right.
I was doing this before MySpace.
Right.
So like
right.
I'm so
I know MySpace. Yes. It's I think so. I kind of
wrapped up in the
Yeah. I think for me and my only concern and the only thing has already now just recently happened that I do need to be aware of, and anybody that creates content on there, just remember, it's here forever. Okay. So anything that we create and put out there is there forever. So fast forward to I read tarot cards, and I had read for somebody, and my page was public on Facebook for quite some time because I'd be live and I'd read cards live for Tarot Tuesdays. So I had a lot of public views in particular onto my Facebook. But I stopped posting my kids or anybody years ago. Like I just stopped doing any of that.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
my old pictures that I've never taken down or put, and now that my page is not, it's private and things like that. Well, somebody from my daughter's school found me and found my daughter as a child. So Yes, I don't care what anybody says about me,
Detective
but we're
snitch.
fast forwarding to now my kids are, hey, I saw your mom on Instagram. Hey, I didn't know your mom was like that. Oh yeah. And these kids are middle school and high school going to school with cookie t-shirts and everything else. So it's not like it's not right in everybody's face. It's not like it's not there. And that's
Yeah.
why I advocate for mothers.
It's on
You want to be
billboards.
the ones to educate your children. Otherwise, it's going to be Jimmy's older brother, Johnny, that tells your kids why you smell the way you smell if you don't do it. Like, and I knew that because I had that. Like, I was terrified again because I didn't smoke weed until I was an adult. I was really nervous about explaining it to my daughter
Especially nowadays, you want to explain this shit because
right out the gate. You
like,
got to be honest too.
because like my mom and stuff didn't have to deal with fentanyl.
Yeah, Jesus.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like, because once you start, like you said, once you figure out that it's not as bad as they said it's gonna be,
Right,
then what
right.
else is and stuff and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
And I don't like talking too much about saying gateway anything, but the
Right.
first gateway drug is like caffeine or fucking like alcohol. So
Alcohol.
prescription drugs.
They don't call it spirits for nothing.
Right.
Alcohol is literally that's where it starts. That's where I really like wanted to be like, I think I'm kind of done with alcohol. I would like to shift, and I made that
It
wine
messes
to
my
weed
stomach
shift.
up
Yeah.
a lot.
Well, with Crohn's, it was like,
Oh, for
no,
sure.
they were like, don't. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just gonna be,
Doctor,
hurting all the time.
It hurts when I do this.
Yeah, well,
But don't do that.
exactly. And that was like the number one thing. They were like, yeah. So really, cannabis was helping in so many different ways because it took any of those cravings that I had from, before for anything that for that to switching to, a nice fat joint and, watching a movie and chilling or some edibles and doing that.
Yeah. I need to get to making some more for myself and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think this week I'm making some ocean water gummies that I make.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy that. But I just like I forget about edibles
Yeah.
even though like I cook and stuff like that.
Right.
It's just like I don't know. I get lazy for myself sometimes.
In smoking, we get that instant, it happens, and we get that relief that we need a lot quicker than we do with edibles. And I think that's where we, turn to it the most. But I love the longer feeling, and then it doesn't mess with my, your lungs. They're not technically supposed to have anything besides oxygen in them. So,
Yeah.
it's not there's so
Believe
many
me, I
other
know
healthier
all-
ways. And
all
I'm
that pain.
coughing and I'm like, ugh, I sound, so I tried to, kick back and do them equally around the same. So I try to microdose even my little edibles and stuff. I like to do that. I make my own RSO.
I
put those in
that.
capsules, and I
like
really love my RSO.
dosing myself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because
well,
I do like
it's all dosing ourselves.
Yeah, I do like especially when you like end up at the grocery store and you're like shopping and it's not it doesn't hit you about being hungry, but all of a sudden you're just like, why am I in such a good mood?
Right.
And you're like, I don't know.
I could be here for hours. I
And
didn't want to go, and now I'm here, and I'm like, oh, look at this.
I'm like, look at this. You know, the
Let me go
stuff
down
that
the
they
clearance
the
aisle.
stuff that they come up with nowadays.
Yeah.
This is amazing. They got frozen chocolate covered bananas.
They have everything. And I saw a TikTok where I could make this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a chef, so I'm just like a lot of the stuff. I'm like, oh no, I can do that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
not buying it if I can make it.
yeah, and then I don't make it.
Right.
So like, it doesn't
Right.
matter. Anyway, but yeah, I just like that those times with edibles when you eat them and you go about doing some shit and it just hits you and you're just like all of a sudden you're just like floating. You're like, oh, that's right. Weed helps.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Or you just kind of like, okay, how much did I take?
There's got to be a way eventually for us to like be able have like like Starbucks, you know, like
right,
because you can go to Starbucks and get like geeked out of your mind off of caffeine. And
Good
be like,
Lord,
fucking just fucking cracked out, but like you can't go get like a joint. I mean,
right,
that would be too, and then they're gonna like pull you over and stuff.
Right. There's still so many different things, and as a mom, there's so many fears.
And you got detective snitches, just like they ain't got nothing better to do because their life is so sad themselves that they gotta find someone else to bring down. Be like, look, at least I'm not that.
So it's just like when you think of other people's content and you're like, oh God, like, other people, and I'm not, but just anything that you put out there, just know, especially if you have kids, Sarah's older sister could find your account and point it out, and now your kid is this is what your mom does. This is what and so you're just really careful.
Shout out to all the body positivity people out there, but like, I don't know. I think sometimes that's not even a place for me to comment on. So, So back to my mental health.
Back to my mental health, right? Back to what I know. No, I just think it has helped me in so many ways to just accept and be more of that mom that I really, really wanted to be. That happy mom that sat there and did Legos for 3 hours because I'm stoned out of my mind. It's so fucking fun. And we're making the cornucopia that we're really going to put in the centerpiece.
It's the problem.
And it's like, it was great. It was great.
The problem is society. And all you're doing with the cannabis is like, you're like, I'm not here. I'm here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm right here.
I love that.
And my motto for 2024, and of course I heard it somewhere, and it was just be where your feet are. Okay, if you truly focus on where your feet are, that is where you are. And if you can truly be where your feet are, you will be in the moment that you're in. And that is one of the most biggest things that I've been doing the last couple more since I heard that, and I said this is it. And even talking to my kids, I'm like, you're crying over this, or there's this on Instagram or whatever it is, and I'm like, but where are you? You're right here. We're getting ready to go do this. We have our moms and dads here. We have grandma and grandpa coming over. Whatever it is, just be right here. We'll worry about the grades. We'll worry about school. We'll worry about Mr. Smith hates you in science. Okay, we'll worry about that tomorrow. But right now, you're right here, and let's just be at home, because I really feel for these kids. We used to be able to go home and that was it. You're like, I can shut the door and I don't know what anybody else is doing unless I go out to the SRP box, because you didn't really go to anybody's house. You just rode your bike to the box at the end of the street. Or you're going to hear about it
at school tomorrow.
You hear about it tomorrow. It's not a problem, but it's not it's so prevalent because it's right there on social media that everything is there.
That's what I've been talking about. Is the problem with people's mental health nowadays is past or future tripping.
Mm-hmm. So just be where your feet are.
You can't control either one of them, motherfucker. Like, no. You can control where you're at right now. 6 inches in front of your face.
Yep.
That's what life is. Mm-hmm. Any given Sunday. It's a good quote. It's like that.
Yeah. That's a good movie too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like the way you explain it too. This is why I like talking to people about this stuff, because I know my color of red, but I don't know your color.
Yeah.
So absolutely. So we'll go ahead and jump into the last segment, which is like promo talk, and we'll talk about different things we have coming up, or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Plug talk. All right. So again, plug talk is all about promo stuff, different things you have coming up. If you're like a part of any events or anything, could you enlighten the people?
Yeah, so I read tarot cards. It's one of the things I do, and I have a mobile boutique / consignment store. So I gutted out a 1967 camper, made it into my store. That's the only reason why I left the industry. I probably would have stayed and climbed up the ladder when Verano bought territory, but I really had bigger ideas, and I really wanted to pursue my own thing and do it. So my husband and I make salsa and our canned goods. We sell it at farmers markets, where I can sell any of my items. So like a lot of the public flea markets and stuff that I do, I go and I set up at, so like March 16th is my next big vendor one, where I set up the whole camper and you can come try on clothes, you can bags and stuff like that. So I do that. And then tarot. So I usually read for Canna Friends. Took some time off. My husband got sick. He was recently diagnosed with diabetes. We didn't know, and he ended up in the ICU for 5 days. It was really scary. So he's a chef as well. So we're learning how to
shout out to him.
Yeah, thank you. So we're learning how to re-eat and relive and be better in that aspect, because there's so much to that.
Myself too. I have
Yeah.
I have a lot of diabetes in my family, so I
See,
understand.
yeah, really, it's scary, and it's the most expensive disease to have in America. I mean, everything is just expensive with it, which I had no clue it was going to be like this. So we got diagnosed beginning of December 6th. So Christmas, everything. We took money from Christmas budget to cover now our insulin. It was crazy. So I took some time off to help him get the family better. We were just trying to. 3 out of my 5 kids' birthdays are in December, so we are trying to
Mine's 2 days after
oh
Christmas.
gosh, December babies. It's just there was so much going on.
Yeah.
So I
Wow.
usually read at Can of Friends, and all those. I got Little Choya coming up. It's the cul-de-sac in Tempe. It's a carless community that's there, and they set up every Thursday night. So this Thursday I'll be reading there for free. I do it all for free. So just
There's
come and get your cards read, say hi, and check it out. And
so the Healing Chefs
yeah.
is partnering with Exhale Society
Okay.
next Saturday.
Oh, nice.
And we're having a bunch of local growers and stuff like that. It'd
Okay.
be really dope if
Yeah.
if you guys came through.
Yeah.
Because we'll talk a little bit more
Okay.
after this
Yeah.
on my plans. But
Yeah, let me know the details. I don't
it's
think I
gonna
have
it's gonna
anything yet. That's usually how it goes. I'm booked for a couple of Galentine's private things like that. But if it's anything public, I'm absolutely down to set up.
absolutely, yeah. It's it's Saturday, January 27th,
Okay.
5 p.m. to like 10 p.m.
Okay.
At the new Exhale Society. It's not really spotlighting me.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to like organize some different things.
Right on.
But it's and we've all done like local growers nights and stuff
Yeah.
at different places. But this is really more of like a reintroduction of the community to the community, more
Mhm.
interacting and getting to know people and stuff like that. I have other plans, not just this. This
Yeah.
is just the start.
That's
just
really
like
cool.
for people to come out and
Mhm.
meet and everything, meet and greet, not just the local growers, but any like artists, chefs, and stuff like that. Really trying to help promote any like local people because
Yeah.
I've just seen a lot of like out of town stuff. I
Yeah.
want to see a lot of
Yeah.
in town stuff.
That's really dope.
And bring a little healing to the community. It's $10 for the day.
Yeah. Come check out all the vendors and stuff like that.
Local snacks and stuff in there. They have some like games and whatnot. But
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be really fun sesh. I believe there will be no sales on the premises or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure some of the people will have some things to hand out or something like that. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about
Okay.
that. You have anything else coming up, or well, you just kind of went over everything.
Yeah. I got Thursday night, the cul-de-sac in Tempe. I'll be there. Got some private events. March 16th Bike Week reached out to me, but that's going into April. I will be there all 5 days from the 3rd to the 7th, with my tarot tent.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so
I'll get red.
Yeah, come on down.
I'm scared.
It's don't be. It's at the very least, it's thought provoking. It's nothing to do.
I
with
believe
else,
in
so.
a lot of spiritual and ethereal things. So
Yeah.
no,
Same.
that's why I
Yeah.
say no, for sure scared.
Yeah. Me too. Sometimes that's why I've only had it done twice on me.
That's
I mean,
why-
I've read hundreds of people, but I won't get. I'm done. I don't think I
I've
need it.
tried DMT twice,
Mm,
and
that's.
they're starting different. They're starting to
I
do
saw
more.
a pen. Somebody had a pen,
Yeah, I've seen it.
and
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "What?
I have.
Wow."
But they're starting studies now and okaying psychedelic treatment for veterans and stuff.
Wow, that's good.
My mom was sending me a bunch of stuff. I'll talk about that in the future. She like spammed me with all sorts of stuff.
That's really
that
cool.
I need to read up on.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming up next we do have I think if we can get them both at the same time, Jet Work, NYC, and Poetry of Plants.
Wow.
Some pretty big names in the cannabis national
really cool.
scene and stuff like that. Really good guys, really nice guys. They were coming out here to do some stuff. They ran into a problem and are working that out, but I think they're figuring out how to get out here and be out here. But
yeah, that's awesome.
Other than that, like I said, we have the thing coming up next Saturday, 27th, 5 p.m., 10 p.m. Exhale Society in Tempe. More information on that. Make sure for all video needs and stuff like that, go to habarionentertainment.com. Tap in, smoke up, trip out. Love y'all. We're out.
That's usually how it goes. I know.